YouTube, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Home Free, Don't Laugh at Me featuring Mark Wills. No idea who Mark Wills is. But I haven't seen this yet. I haven't heard this yet. Let's just jump into it, man. If you guys are new around these parts, hit that subscribe button, partner. Not sure where these things come from. But anyways, you guys are used to it by now. Let's go. Oh, okay. Guessing that's Mark Wills.
I'm a little boy with glasses, the one they call a geek, a little girl who never smiles, 'cause I've got braces on my teeth. And I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep. I'm that kid on every playground who's always chosen last, a single teenage mother trying to overcome my past. You don't have to be my friend. Is it too much to ask?
Really? Really? I didn't know that this was... I didn't know this was about this. Don't laugh at me, right? Okay. This hits home. This hits home like a friggin' tank.
Is it too much to ask? Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me.
Ah!
I'm the cripple on the corner.
You know what? When you're all three of you guys are 30 years old, these two young men are still going to be wearing their varsity Letterman jackets to the high school football games, okay? So don't even sweat it, buddy.
I'm the cripple on the corner. You pass me on the street, and I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think I don't notice that I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think I don't notice that I rise never meet. No, no. I lost my wife and little boy. Someone crossed a yellow line. The day we laid them in the ground is the day I lost my mind. And right now I'm down to holding this little cardboard sign. So don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me, don't laugh at me.
Good Lord. Dude. Boys, why? So, oh man, one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life. One of the things that I hold nearest and dearest to my heart as far as life experiences is I led a special needs phys ed program throughout high school. I did it all 4 years, made some amazing friends, and you know what? I can't even tell you. I mean, obviously, I'm a 15-year-old kid when this whole thing starts, right? And I'm ignorant, absolutely ignorant. All I know about special needs people is what society has told me. Well, they look different, so they're incapable. Or they look different, so, you know, they're this, they're that. I'm going to tell you what. I walked into that program. I walked into that gym feeling like I'm here and they're here, meaning I'm your teacher, okay? I'm here to help you because you're not capable. I'm here to help you because you're less fortunate. You know what I mean? It didn't take but 1 or 2 classes to go from this to just one of them to just, oh wait, we're all just people? What are you talking about? I thought you guys couldn't do anything. Some of the funniest human beings I have ever met to this day. One of them I saw throw a 16-pound bowling ball down a bowling alley. I think he only got 3 pins down because it just, like right through the middle of them all. Athletic, super intelligent, witty, hilarious. People. Literally just people. Oh, I'm so glad I did that when I did that in my life because, man, just be nice. Just be nice.
They will all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm down, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all?
Is that his wife? Oh, and look at this. That is exactly what would happen too.
I'm short, I'm tall, I'm down, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all?
But is that Mark's wife?
Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. 'Cause in God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me.
No, because literally all you do when you do that, when you pick on somebody else or do whatever, I mean, obviously, I know that it's because you're insecure and you're trying to point out somebody else's shortcomings to hide yours. Unfortunately, it works in reverse. The second you try to put somebody else's shortcomings on blast to hide yours, you literally just put your shortcomings on blast by doing so.
Hey, we're home free. I'm Mark Wills.
I'm Nate Simon.
Generally Wasserman.
October is Anti-Bullying Month, and it's a cause that is very near and dear to our hearts. That's why we have partnered with Mark Wills and 21 Pineapples to help raise money and awareness to go fight bullying. Please check out homefreemusic.com,
MarkWills.com.
and 21pineapples.com.
I just want to say I'm spreading my love in one funky shirt at a time.
Go get
Okay.
your funky shirt now.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap.
See? Oh man, that is so accurate right there. I'm so glad we ended it on a high note. One of the kids that was in that gym class that I helped with, we took them on field trips. We did all kinds of stuff together. I really got really close with a lot of them. Some really good friends, one of which I still talk to on a regular basis because he lives right down the road from my grandparents' camp. And I knew from walking by there, from just being in the town, living there all my life, home wasn't great. It's not like he could go home at the end of the day and feel safe. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere he went, he was made to feel how society makes people that look different feel. One day I was walking to math class, and as soon as I turned the corner to go to math class, he was walking out of science class with all of his stuff, all of his books, his loose leaf paper, everything. And one of the kids in front of me, the kid that I had hung out with and been to parties with and stuff like that, just a class clown type of guy, which that's who I was too. But I was also on the varsity football team as a freshman, like very involved in that world. So I was kind of in all of the little cultures, the goth community, I was a part of everything kind of. But anyways, we turn the corner. I don't want to say his name, but he was walking out of science class and the kid in front of me balls up his fist and just slams all of his stuff out of his hands. It goes everywhere. Slams his stuff out of his hands and pushes him with his index finger up against the wall and just starts laughing. No. See, the math class that I was walking to was taught by the head coach of my football team, who we had a very good relationship. We were really tight. I grabbed him by the back of his shirt collar and I ring around the rosied him into the lockers and proceeded to encourage him not to do that ever again. And luckily it was my football coach that came out to stop it because, he made sure that he went home and I stayed and continued my day of school after helping my buddy pick up all of his stuff, of course. But I tell my kids that story every now and then because it's absolute now more than ever, way more now than even when we were in school. It is so important that everybody really, but especially somebody that is made to feel less than on a regular basis. And a lot of it's just our society as a whole, right, wrong, or indifferent. They are very well aware they don't look, sound, and, they're not as good as everybody else. They're well aware. So it's so important when they go to school or anywhere that they know for a fact they are safe because of the people around them. Even if there's one bad apple that tries to cause them harm, there's way more good ones that are going to come to their aid and take care of that bad apple in whatever way necessary. So anyways, yeah, this hits really close to home. My son was born with club feet, which is not a big deal, but if you read about it, something like 90-something% of babies that are born club-footed have some sort of other complication. And my son's was what's called a floppy epiglottis. The epiglottis is the thing that covers your esophagus. So if you picture this like a tube, it's like a little disc that covers your esophagus and stops things from, going into your lungs when you're eating or drinking. And for you and I, it's like a CD. It's like a compact disc that's hard. My son's was kind of underdeveloped, I guess. It was floppy. It was weaker. So we woke up he was born around 2 a.m. We woke up around 7 a.m. to him not in our room. So I went out into the hallway. Saucey Mom was still sleeping. I went out into the hallway and I just see nurses kind of running around. So my heart just sinks. And I'm like trying to get answers and nobody can answer me. And, where is my son? What's going on? So they ended up bringing me to him. And one of the nurses tried to feed him in the middle of the night and he wouldn't eat. So they incubated him. I can't talk about the details of that without going completely meltdown here. But anyways, he was met with some struggles because of what they did that night. And, the beginning of his life was tough. And there was some lasting effects to that, like the way he talked and the way he sounded just breathing. And then the club feet thing, like he's literally in casts right now. He has a cast on each leg right now because he went through a growth spurt, crazy growth spurt last year. He's 11 years old, but he went through a growth spurt, and because he grew so much so fast, his legs tried to go back to their natural position of being curved, like the bottom of his feet. When he was born, the bottom of his feet were facing each other. They were like his legs went just like this. Instead of you and I like this, his legs were just like this. So he currently has a hard cast on each of his legs to fix them. So, a hard cast on each leg. Getting around isn't the easiest. The doctor wants him to continue walking on them just so that he doesn't stiffen up. And he basically has to relearn how to walk again, because at the end of that growth spurt, we had him set up to go get braces, it's like an adjustable brace, basically. COVID happened. Doctor wasn't in the office for like 2 years, literally. Ended up leaving the practice altogether, so he had to find somebody else, which is not an easy thing to do up here. It literally, long story short, took about 3 years from when he should have been seen to when he was seen. So it got a lot worse. His body, the human body, naturally adapts to stuff like that. So he had started walking completely differently. Really couldn't run very well. So he's going through this process now where they have to recast everything and get some mobility back in certain places of his ankles and his knees. And because of that, he's in a wheelchair when he's at school. And luckily he has, they have great personalities, all three of my kids, and they're very loving people. Super proud of them for that. But he's in a wheelchair at school. He has to take the elevator versus, he can't do stairs and can't do the recess stuff. So anytime you can't just blend in and stand out like that for those reasons, the whole saying, kids are mean, man. And, as a parent, I don't want to embarrass him. It's a really hard spot to be in. Like, what do you do, So, I've taken opportunities to talk to certain parents when needed, right? But it's just, kids are kids. Half the time they don't even know what they're saying. Half the time they don't realize the significance and the weight behind something they might talk about, or a name they might call somebody, or whatever it might be. So you have to take all that into consideration. But when you start talking about 11, 12, 13 years old, starting to talk about, preteens, and they're starting to grow into the person that they're going to be. So it's very important you send a very strong message when they display something like that, when they display a lack of compassion to that extent. It's very important that you drive that message home, And anyways, I'm just so happy that they did this. I'm so happy that I happened to watch it when I did. Give everybody a shot. Just don't, man, oh man. I feel like I say this all the time, and I don't want it to lose its significance because I say it so much. I don't want it to sound cliche because it's not. We're just human beings, man. We're literally all just people living life. We were all given this gift of life, and we're just here living it, doing the best we can. Just because somebody looks different than you, that has nothing to do with how smart they're probably smarter than you are. They're probably wittier. They're probably funnier. I bet they have an amazing story. If nothing else, I guarantee you they love harder. They love purer. Give everybody a chance, man. I don't know. It's so important now. It's just scary. It's really scary because the routes that kids take to solve their problems now, there's like a precedent now, and there's a method of taking care of your problems. It's so scary. It's really scary. So as parents, we can have a huge effect on that. A huge effect on how many times this happens going forward by driving these morals into our kids. So, so they go to school knowing what the right thing to do is. And, they're not afraid to be the one person out of the whole crowd that instead of laughing at somebody tries to help them or proceeds to help them. Sorry, this has gone really long. Yeah, obviously this is very important to me, as I think it should be important to everybody. If you're a parent, this has to have some sort of place in your home. It has to, because whether you believe it, whether you think it, whether you acknowledge it, I guarantee you there is zero shadow of a doubt that it is happening around your kid at school. It is happening. Maybe not to them. They may be taking part in it. I'm telling you, just because they're amazing at home and you cannot imagine them doing, just throw it out there. Give them some examples of what something like that can do to somebody and what that person might end up doing down the road because they're so fed up with how they're treated at school or everywhere they go. In my buddy's case, he didn't have an escape. He went home to the same thing that he experienced at school. We got to do better, and I know we can, so all we got to do is do it, right? All we got to do is do it. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Tell YouTube you enjoyed the video. That's the only way to get the channel to grow. Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I love y'all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe out there, everybody. Peace out. SauceyFam.